A huge solar prominence is dancing on the sun's surface today, and we're also getting a new cycle sunspot forming. This is an additional update on the space weather having to do with what's happening to our sun. The new cycle sunspot forming today is emerging in the sun's southern hemisphere. Its magnetic polarity identifies it as a member of cycle 25, the long-awaited next solar cycle. Although solar activity remains low, this new cycle spot continues the recent trend of intensifying solar cycle 25 sunspot formation. So apparently the solar minimum will not last forever. Now we have also today a big solar prominence. And it's a good thing our sun is a whopping 93 million miles away from us. Otherwise our planet might be in trouble. This large prominence is dancing along the sun's eastern limb today. And images here on space weather, you can see Tosi of Nimes, France. It's big enough to swallow our entire planet. This prominence was very easy to see, he said, through my safety filter 228 9-inch telescope. Now prominences are clouds of plasma held above the sun's surface by magnetic fields. The way this prominence is moving suggests the underlying magnetic field may be unstable. The sun's magnetic field, that is. It could erupt in the hours ahead. Solar observers are encouraged to monitor these developments. We also have solar winds and sparking auroras and ground currents. The solar wind stream hit Earth's magnetic field yesterday, February 6th, and it will continue on to tomorrow, the day after. The stream's arrival expected. Its power was not, though, and the wind speed topped 600 kilometers per second, which is the fastest of this year so far. First contact with this gaseous material produced outbursts of auroras over Finland. And one person that took pictures of it said the sky just exploded with all the different colors. I've rarely seen the auroras move so fast. It was an amazing show. This evening around 2035 UTC, the magnetic shock wave registered on my instruments. There was also a strong surge of electrical current through the ground outside, and locally we experienced a geomagnetic storm of magnitude K6. Now this solar wind stream causing the action is flowing from the southern pole of the sun's atmosphere. It could continue to buffet Earth's magnetic field for another day and sparking more northern lights, Arctic auroras today and tomorrow. So this is what's happening today. The prominence, the large bright gaseous feature extending outward from the sun's surface, often in a loop shape. Prominences are anchored to the sun's surface in the photosphere and extend outwards to the sun's corona. While the corona consists of extremely hot ionized gases known as plasma, which do not emit much visible light, prominences contain much cooler plasma similar to composition of that of the chromosphere. The prominence plasma is typically 100 times more luminous and denser than the coronal plasma. A prominence forms over timescales of about a day and may persist in the corona for several weeks or even months, looping hundreds of thousands of miles into space. That's why it's good that it's 93 million miles away from us. Some prominences break apart, may even give rise to coronal mass ejections. Scientists are currently researching how and why these prominences are formed. The red glowing looping material is plasma, a hot gas composed of electrically charged hydrogen and helium. The prominence plasma flows along a tangled and twisted structure of magnetic fields generated by the sun's internal dynamo. An erupting prominence occurs when such a structure becomes unstable and bursts outwards, releasing the plasma. A typical prominence extends over many thousands of kilometers. The larger on record was estimated over 800,000 kilometers, that's 500,000 miles long, roughly a solar radius. Historically, the first detected description of a solar prominence was in the 14th century. The Laurentien Codex described the solar eclipse of May 1st, 1185. There were descriptions of large flame-like tongues of live embers. Can you imagine that? People were able to see all these. Prominences and filaments. When a prominence is viewed from a different perspective so that it is against the sky's disk instead of space, it appears darker than the background. This formation is instead called the solar filament. It is possible for a projection to be both a filament and a prominence. Some prominences are so powerful that they throw out matter from the sun into space at speeds ranging from 600 kilometers per second, that's what we're having now, to more than 1,000 kilometers per second. Other prominences from huge loops or arcing columns of glowing gases over sunspots that can reach heights of hundreds of thousands of kilometers. Prominences may last for a few days or even a few months, as we said. And this is from, the video is from, of course, NASA. This is on Wikipedia. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.